evening, everybody. It's still Saturday, July 6th, and I'm still here in Wisconsin. Finally, outside it's cooling down a little bit. Temperature's still up, but the humidity dropped. That's what I love. Okay, this is going to be another one of my short, quick videos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a pen on my Jet 1221 variable speed lathe. I made some of those hybrid pen blanks, and I'm not real sure how they're going to hold together, so I'm going to put one on the lathe and turn it and mount it on a pen kit. I just went to Woodcraft near my hometown, picked up a couple, about 8 or 10 pen kits, see what it looks like after it's turned. So stick around and we'll get right to it. For time saving on this video, I'm not going to show you guys how I cut the blank, how I drill the blank, how I do the pen tubes, and how I trim it up on my disc sander and all that happy horse manure. I'm just going to show you guys turning this blank on the lathe. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, everybody, I went to the bandsaw, I cut my links, then I went to the drill press, drilled my holes, a 10mm hole, went over to my workbench, and I glued in my tubes. Once they were glued in, I went to the disc sander and I flushed them up on the ends where the blank meets the tube. Came over, mounted it on the lathe. Now I'm going to use my 3/4 inch roughing gouge. One thing I'd like to say is these blanks just came out of the pot this morning. Normally you should let these set between 5 and 7 days before you turn them, depending on the heat, humidity, and where you're at. I turn mine typically after 48 hours because I can't wait that long, but I take it very easy on these. But one thing I've noticed, and this is one thing Mr. Higgins said, if you want to get your best finish, the oils in the acrylic need to be completely dry. So, that being said, the reason I'm a little bit rushing this one today is a gentleman is interested in buying the blanks. His name I won't mention, Doug. We're trying to find out together that the Alumilite is going to stay connected to the wood. Here we go. One thing I'd like to mention for guys that are just starting to turn pen blanks, especially in the acrylic, or in the acrylic I should say, when you're going like this and you're getting chips, then you know that your blank is still square or almost square. As you get closer to round, it'll change to ribbons. Now, at this point, I'm going to stop and take a look because I'm getting a lot of chatter. If you look right here, there's a void in the pen blank. The Alumilite didn't fill this hole exactly the way it should, right here. So there's a void. And every time I hit it with my roughing gouge, it makes a chattery noise. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my thick CA and I'm going to fill that hole. Once that's got some CA in it, I'm going to take my accelerator, give it a little spritz of accelerator, and then add some more CA. and give that just a few seconds to harden. Now I'm going to wait just not a long time. Now make sure, see if it's filled the void. I notice another little place here on the other end of the blank. So I'll put a little bit there. There I just added a little bit more thin CA because I got a couple of small pinholes and a crack right there. So because that void is softer than the rest of the acrylic and the wood, your tool will go in quicker and easier. So you'll get a shallow. So you want to support your tool a little bit farther out and then use the tool rest and gently go back and forth. I could be more aggressive, but remember, this blank hasn't cured completely. This blank is less than 24 hours old. Now I'm going to use my Easy Wood carbide. Alright, that's starting to chatter pretty good because of the pine cone. So I'm going to fill my hole again. Okay, now I'm going to take my 1000 grit sandpaper and I'm just going to clean up the tool marks and the CA. It's a little bit rough right there. I'll start with my roughest grit and my micro mesh. Go through each color. Looks pretty darn good. All right, let's take it over here and assemble it. And I've got my instructions. This is the long barrel where the tequila sunrise is on the tip. That's going to be my nib end. So I want to assemble my nib. If I'd have been thinking, I would have had all this laid out ahead of time, and you guys wouldn't have to see me open all the bags. But I know you guys like watching this kind of stuff, so I'm going to show you the whole process. Nib assembled. This is my nib end that I chose for my pen. Put this on my press. Grab a piece of wood. Press. And that's off a little bit. That's why you keep a pair of digital calipers by your workbench when you're doing pens. You measure the nib, and then you measure also the end once you're turning, because the kit might not always match the bushings. It's close, but it's still off a little bit. So next I want to add the twist holder. I call it a transmission. That goes there. That goes in there. Press that in. That in matches really nice. Okay, next I want to insert my refill. Grab my transmission, screw it on, get it good and tight, then wipe the grease off before you handle any more parts of your pen. Then I want to get the center ring, put that on there, put this in this end of my upper pen blank, press that together. Now that matches really nice. Now I'm going to assemble my clip. Grab the cap, grab the clip, put it on the clip tube, and screw that on there. Just snug it up. Now, as I always say, you want to find where the least amount of character is in your pen blank. Then you want to take your clip and slide it on the blank so it doesn't cover up any unique features. Or if you have any defects in the pen that you would like to hide, I don't have any on this one, so I'm going to press it right there. Bring this on. Okay. And then decide what I want to match with what, and slide it together, and there you have a nice pen. Now I got fingerprints on it. I should wipe them off. That's why if this is a real high dollar pen that you're presenting as a gift, then you really want to wear gloves. And I mean cloth gloves, not plastic gloves. They are better than not, but cloth gloves for assembly are even better. So, Doug, you wondered if this holds together? There you have it. And after it sits for another 4 or 5 days before it gets turned, I think you have a very, very nice pen. Let's take this out in the sunlight. Not much sun left. There you go. That's about the best I can do. The sun is setting, but that is a beautiful pen. Hey everybody, you guys know me. My name's Kevin. Tell me what you think. All right, have a good night. Bye-bye.